The 1/10 scale is this. This is approximately the size of 1/10 scale. Cars, wait, that's off-road. This is the size of a 1/10 scale on-road car. So this is the standard. And this is the battery. This battery will take one of those cars to the on-road ones to easily 50 miles an hour.
Wow!
This battery will take you to 70 to 80 top speed if you're geared for top speed. This has twice the voltage of this, but half the runtime. These are slightly better cells inside of here. It's LiPo. Gel cells. Soft lithium polymer. And this is a 6S, so this is 22 volts. This is 11 volts. No, this is 14 volts. 14 volts, 22, 7.2. This is the standard. And with, like I said, geared for speed, you can easily get 50, probably pushing like 60 out of one of these with instantaneous acceleration, and run times about 10 to 15 minutes. And I've got batteries from that big to bigger than this. This one I use for monster trucks. They're like this big. Those can do 60 to 70. Steel wheel? No, I don't. Oh, I don't have free time, but I also don't RC anymore. Batteries are the limiting factor. And 7.4 volts rather is the common standard. Previously it was 7.2 with the nickel metals. Now it's 7.4. And if you're not going ridiculously fast, you can get a half an hour runtime. If you're going slow, like with the crawlers, you can easily get an hour or so. You can still get nitro powered ones, alcohol, methanol with methanol nitromethane mix. It's just electrics. Since we have lithium polymer batteries now, electrics are just way, way faster and easier. And faster. Biggest battery is 56 at 28 amp hours. Nice. The highest instantaneous amp draw I've ever recorded in one of my RCs, which are not pushing like the limits of the hobby at all. I was never big into power and speed. I liked controllability, but the highest instantaneous draw I ever recorded was 200 amps at 14 volts, I think it was. I think that was a 4S. The 7.4 volt batteries, like the standard one I showed you, will pull, or will push rather, 100 amps, 120 peak. That's how you get your redonkulous power. Yeah. And batteries of that size will start a real car too. all the jump start packs these days are just one of those. It's a lot of current, yes. They are serious. My boat was pulling like 100 amps continuous on its speed runs. That one was only doing like 60, but I was using a stock motor on it. Literally a ready to run motor running on just a beefed up battery. Almost doubled the speed. It was 35 miles an hour tops out of the box. I ran 59 point something with just a different prop and a bigger battery and a speed controller that could handle the battery too. Jumpstart packs for the cars. Last one you took apart was using 21700. So I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar with the sizes for lithium ion. I never messed with CAN cells since the nickel metal hydride days. I'm not familiar with it. Power equipment, yeah. Can you get tiny V8s? True. Although most of them are single cylinder, but the V8s are awesome. Very, very, very rarely used, but sound great. 3.6 each. Gotcha. Nominal 3.6. Similar to ones. Oh, similar to these, like the DeWalt DeWalt style cans. $21,700 is standard. So 18,650s, yeah, I've seen those. So is a 21,700 bigger then? Same cells. Ah, well, that makes it simple. Right on. It's using the same convention that motors do. We're just describing the shape. Perfect. Thank you. Today I learned. current. Makes sense. Yeah, bigger, better. Not in the ego way, but in the basic physics way. Sorry, there's gonna be some background noise. I don't have the ability to reach my mute button at the moment. Hey, Keenan, how you doing? Welcome. Done here yet. Well, just finished the build here. Finished the assembly. So I was a little bit slower than I should have been, but I also had a late start, so it's not too bad, the timing. And now just getting some panel lining wash on it, just a basic acrylic, thin acrylic. It'll be dry in a minute with the help of the heat gun, and then I'll start just a quick cleanup, quick alcohol clean on it, get a general idea for how this thing's going to look when it's done. I'll try to put a little bit of extra kind of weathering effect on it with some drips. But not too much. I don't need to spend a lot of time on this. I don't want to turn it into a multi-week project. So I'll do a little bit while I can here, and then a little bit more offline, and then call it a day. It's 3.6 actual, 4 nominal. Okay. That doesn't make sense. 3.6 under load, 3.6 at resting voltage, 4 charged. Like, what is it? What is the maximum voltage when charged? And then what is its discharge voltage? What's the range? How's it going, Scope Dog? The build was pretty easy. I was very happy with how quickly it came together, but it has a decent amount of detail. Like they've got nice detail in the in the molds, and Bandai tries to be accurate to the source material. So I like both of those things. And the build for this, yeah, not too shabby, but on the simple side, which is fine. As long as it looks good. It has good articulation too, good engineering. It's a lot of realistic movement, how the legs are built. That was good. I just got to make it look a little bit dirty. Keeping it clean is not an option. Oops. Just pop that out. Get back in there. There you go. $4.2 charge. Okay, cutoff is 3.2 or 4. Gotcha. Sounds good. Union Jackal, welcome. Finished building the tall neck. The tall neck was a wonderful surprise. It had no leaks, no rumors for it. It just showed up, and everybody was like, "Oh, well, that's cool." glad you were able to get that, and hope that you'll enjoy it long term. It's a nice build, and it looks very satisfying. Even for folks who are not familiar with the Horizon IP, it's still a cool build. Okay, just wanted to get decent coverage in there. Adria, hello, welcome. Justin, welcome. I'm giving it a bath right now. It was way too clean. Give it a nice dirt bath. You know, like birds do. This thing is kind of like a dinosaur, and birds are dinosaurs, so you know it all fits. 51 US, thank you for that, Chief. Okay, I think that's about as good as it's reasonably going to get for now. I'll start doing the cleaning. Yeah, that'll do for now. Geplant Rairu and loving it. Good. The opposite of a bath, yeah, exactly. Giving it a wash, a dirt wash. That right there was specifically to get panel lines in it only. It's just a quick way. There will be some dirt marks left over with the very quick process that I'm using. There'll be some weathering that comes out of that, but primarily that was just to get panel lines. It's just way faster than yeah, going one at a time. So first, I'm gonna actually try doing it even harder core this time. Start with a rougher rag. Leave it in the jungle. Eventually, with enough work, you end up coming up with something that looks like this. But that I'm still new, so doing this took me way too long. Way too long. It's still an ongoing process, and it needs to be better, and it needs to be much faster. Oops. But I'm not trying to make this look that distressed. Ever seen an ad souped up on caffeine? I think that Family Guy did one that was running. No one's rushing you unless you're in the gaming industry. Ouch. Well, I'm rushing me because I don't have time. Period. This is isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol, pure. And I'm just gonna take a bunch of the wash off quickly. this is a little bit too much here. It's better. A little more control. Usually wipe off while washing. I've heard of that technique. Yeah, I think waiting gives you better control. It depends on what you're trying to do, of course. But this was fully dried before I started. I'm just trying to take the bulk off right now. And by doing the vertical streaks, it starts to get some of the streaks in there that I can leave behind, so I don't have to do as much work to get the streaks to actually show up later. Some of them will already be there. But again, the primary purpose of this wash was to get panel lines in it. Just the little things. And I don't need this to look super, super dirty. I just don't want it to look factory floor clean. Wipe on, wipe off, yep. Mixing company, infinite access to alcohol. Ah, nice. Cleaning solvents. I'm using a much heavier rag than I usually do just to speed things up significantly here. That is thick. Ruin some windscreens? Oh no. I wonder if that was like pure acetate. I'm sorry, that sucks. That's a unpleasant surprise. Yeah, there's so much detail in these molds that you just don't see by default if you just leave it straight built, which there's nothing wrong with it, but for minimal additional cost and just taking some extra time, you can get just so much more out of what you've paid for, you know, and what you've spent the time building. I mean, you can see those lines All right, I think this rag is just about used up for this purpose. I need finer stuff now. But that's not a bad first pass. It's not a bad first pass at all, actually. Don't use Windex on drum lacquered Lego pieces. Dang. Okay, thank you for mentioning that. That's one I had not heard of at all. That's an important lesson. Heavy black wash on the Razor Crest. We need to pull out the details. Yeah. Plus it's tiny. Get that contrast. I'll have to get this thing into a final pose before really choosing what stays clean versus what remains dirty. But again, early on, try to get the general idea. The drum lacquer is like the plated pieces, Lego's plated pieces. They're shiny gold, not chrome, but kind of a satin gold. Just lacquered. Jose Mochi, hello, hello. I'm hanging in there. Fighting the good fight. Keeping things going. One step at a time. True, you're right. Not plated. It's painted, not plated. Don't think they clean them enough? Really? Why do you say that? I think I'm going to use the low lint. Low lint option here a bit more. Same size box. It's a taller. It's more like a big HG box. Like Perfect Strike Rouge. Freedom Perfect Strike Rouge Freedom, is it? Or Rizel Defensor. So it's like a 1/72 fighter box. Taller. It's dirty and you can rub it off? Wait, what? Okay, that sounds like a factory that is not meeting standards is supplying your area. That's not good. I've never experienced that. Being able to rub it off easily? I've never experienced that. Something's wrong. Box scale? Oh, I see what you mean. Well, I mean, this is 1/44. So they do have an actual scale that they're going for. Clean the bricks first? I don't understand that. I've never heard of this. closest I've heard of is, you know, folks who have some level of oils on their skin definitely transfer that, but the parts being oily from Lego? I've never heard of that. And mold release compounds, they don't have it because they don't use any. It's just straight plastic. Straight into the machine, nothing else. Pellets even. The factory where yours are coming from is messed up then. Something is dramatically wrong. Something has really gone wrong in that region. Okay, that's better. Bad prints, bad injection marks. Yep. Injection marks have gotten worse and worse. You haven't gotten off colors, Hick? Yeah, much better. Hey, it's actually working. Scratches, since it's softer than plastic. For stickers, the problem is opposite. They stick too well. Excuse me. Fingerprint magnet gold. And that's kind of what I'm going for there. Once it gets a matte top coat, you know, it's going to be, I think it's going to be good enough. I might try to add a few little individual hand applied details, but for the most part, just that is gonna do the trick. Few sets with mismatched colors. Someone forgot to recalibrate the die. Yeah. So in some sets, using the older red, some people had issues as well as green. Bad vision is good for something. Oh, that's right. Technique. The lime green color is dramatically different between some different materials. The ABS lime green is different than the polycarbonate lime green and the other harder materials. Sorted them separately. Wow. Yikes. I know that what you're talking about with grays, when grays are different, I know what you're talking about. I've come across some. Thankfully, it's very uncommon, but for that to happen on your UCS AT-AT, completely unacceptable. You deserve to get replacements for all of those pieces. When it's that different, that it feels like an intentionally different color, that's crazy. And like I said, completely unacceptable. This is not a Lego is not a budget company. We are not paying budget prices. Really yellow glow, and some that don't. Under UV. Memorable was with Cal. That one was really hyped up before I got to it. You know, when I was doing the gameplay on stream, people were like, "Oh, the mission is coming! The mission coming! Wait till you get to this mission!" And then I got to it, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, it's cool. Like it's nice. It's fun." But I think it was overhyped a bit for me. Least happy printed slopes on Creator Expert Mustang. Meant to be a straight line. They're not. Yep. You got replacement. Unprinted parts. Oh. Did you intentionally want unprinted pieces? Because I know the printing was inconsistent. It wasn't like a manufacturing error. It was consistently inconsistent. Monday morning mess. Pushing out sets. Wow. Offer to replace it. Wow. That's wild. That's bad. That's so bad. So happy. All right. Seaweed and green stuff. Go back and look at your Mustang. I mean, part of it, of course, is going to depend on how particular you are, but if you look from the end, not from the side, you can see an occasional. The lines themselves are not straight, and then from one piece to the next, they're not in line. Shuffle around. Yeah, try to make it work, but shouldn't have to. So basically, this process that I'm doing right now is just going to continue until I'm satisfied enough with it, and then I'll hit the whole thing with transparent or clear matte to seal it all in place and give it a nice finish that is not all shiny the way this is. It's kind of a satin finish, but matte is much better. And then I'll just see if there are any little things that I want to touch up, that I want to make look leaky, dripping, dirty, greasy, and then call it a day. The vintage through rose-colored glasses, that's fine. No shame in that. No shame at all. And I still need to figure out the pistons on the outside, the slides, these things. I'm gonna pick different ones. It doesn't look purple. Care about lines being straight, do it yourself. Yeah, it's better that way. They're helping. They're doing it because they care about their fans. Favorite social media personalities told you Lego uses stickers because they hate their fans and the environment. Definitely. Sounds good.
Bruh.
That argument sounds like it would get good engagement, therefore it must be true. Good night, Miss Spock. Take care. Thanks for hanging out for so long. Let me get this foot a little bit from this side. I'll also come back and do some pen work to make sure the most important panel lines are consistent. Okay. I'm assuming there are cats. Thank you, Goldfish. It's all about material and cheap, easy techniques. Lets you fool the eye into thinking a good job was done, when in reality it's just a mess. But if it's a pleasing mess, hey, roll with it. So I have a new Star Destroyer. Nice. Also high. $12 bags for a 900-piece set. More plastic in the bags than the Lego. A lot easier to build, though. A lot easier to find parts. Much smoother in that way. The last two Star Wars sets I built, definitely, over the past week, last few, have definitely used way more bags. Don't even need to sort and null, which was maybe part of your therapy. Oh, I see. Do you want to sort and null more? Because if you do, and it gets to the point where they're really, where it feels like there are too few bags, so there's too much pre-sorting, just open 2 bags at once. See if that helps. If that's something you want to do, if you really enjoy the nulling part, just open 2 bags at once. You did it because you don't like searching for parts. I see. Curious if we'll get a mantis. I don't know. That was the first order. OG. Only ever one. Well, it was more than one. Still, they haven't done any sequel sets since the sequels ended. Well, did they do some after Rise of Skywalker? Was there a wave after Rise of Skywalker? I know what you mean, though. Like it pretty much ended. They just dropped it. Often open 2 at once for the symmetrical parts. Nice, cool. Rebuild the galaxy. Yeah, saw that. The trailers going around. Looks funny. Gets a few sorting trays, opens a few bags, and sorts them. Part of her process. Nice. That's really cool. Finding what works for each individual, and having a hobby where you can do that. Where you have personalized options. So I might be missing a piece feeling. Which TV shows want a Lucre Hulk MIDI? MIDI. They've got to do they have to do a MIDI scaled Lucre Hulk. They have to. It's a must. They can't not. MTT these days, 20 droids would be big UCS. Yeah, agreed. Single set for Andor is sad. It is. But they couldn't know. They couldn't know that it was going to be a success. A lot of little spin-off things have not been big successes. I can't blame them for going safe on something like Andor. A spin-off to Rogue One, specifically focusing on one character who's not a Jedi. Tall order for merch. Tall order. Nobody expected that to be a quarter as good as it was. Even though plenty of people liked Rogue One, nobody saw the greatness of Andor coming. Andor prison, Prelisa. It's that I don't sort when I build alone, but when we build together, that's the process. She sorts, take turn building. Other shows with more sets use established stories and characters. Yep. Rogue One was so good. That Vader scene, oh yeah, that was raw. We need more of that. I fear that Acolyte is not going to go that far. Acolyte is going to go too safe. We need some bad guy stuff in Star Wars that's bad. We need to see some true manifestation of hate and destruction. Like, we do a lot of stuff about balance, right? The bad guys aren't really that bad. They're just misunderstood. But we've got this universe, this made-up, make-believe fairy tale universe where they're bad. You know, they wear black and they use lightsabers. They use laser swords that are red to make them seem as bad as possible. Just lean into that. Let them be really bad. I fear that Acolyte is not going to do that. I think Acolyte can still be really good, but as a show, but I want to see some more courage to put some evil on screen. Copied it with Luke. Yep. Mm-hmm. Definitely a mirror. Balance thing is a sham. 1,000 Jedi taken down by one Sith and a few wannabes? Oh, you're talking about like you speak of the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force. Is that what you're talking about? That kind of balance? Because if you think about it, it was true. He got rid of all of the quote unquote light side guys. There was way too many of them. There was no balance. The Jedi did not bring balance. Anakin did. Numerical balance, volumetric balance in the Force would be equal numbers of Force and light users, with, you know, grays contributing to the middle. You were the chosen one. You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. I hate you. Was the sneak preview longer than the trailers? Trek? Vader wouldn't even be able to stand up to Gordon Ramsay. or would. Well, this thing is going to continue to get little bits of adjustment to it, and then it's going to be called done. So this is not bad. A little slower than I wanted. A little late on the start. Sucks about losing all those viewers to the Comcast. Tiny outage. Brief little outage, but at least I got this progress on this thing. Short clip. Oh, okay. She had more story with brother, sister, father. Ah, the Mortis gods. It was interesting. Not sure if I was the biggest fan of their whole thing. I wish we did more with the Bendu. The Bendu. The Bendu. Or more of his kind. That was a nice little aside. All right, this is working. Cool. Let's do it. Let's do it. Was in the ATSC. I don't know. I don't know what he was in. There we go. All right. As you know, if you hear that somebody that you're watching is about to raid, be sure to stick around for just another minute. Otherwise, it hurts the channel a lot if you leave immediately. So thank you for hanging out. I will be back. Thank you, Volt Clock, for the lurk. I will be back tomorrow for some more Lego. Possibly finishing the last of the May release sets already, which is very, very good. And I'll work on this some more offline, maybe even try to get it done overnight. And I need to get caught up on my oops, sorry about that. Need to get caught up on my Instagram page as well, of course. Yes. Both.
Thanks, Jing. I appreciate you.
One in particular. And I will see you all soon. Gonna do a raid and run. Somebody who brings a whole bunch of good vibes. Haven't raided him in a while. Y'all take care as well. Again, I'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, get the rest of the Lego sets built. Thank you for hanging out. Be good to one another. Be good to yourselves. Thank you for being good to me. And please be very good to Spirit. If you want to hang out for some
special thing on your
some
channel?
good vibes.
I go like this.
Nope.
Ray is my favorite Skywalker, and that's it. Thanks.
All right, fine.